What is up, my tricksters? Welcome back to another episode of Fun Deck Friday. It has been a minute since we've done one of these, but don't worry. I've tried to give you guys some skits, and of course, I've been doing the, if you've been watching my shorts, you know that I've been doing the, what would they play series. So, and that's, we're still doing all that stuff. Sometimes, some of that stuff's going to be a little less frequent than I normally would like it, just, FYI. And before we get into the deck profile, if you guys want to support the channel, the links to do so are in the description. Please do that. I have t-shirts, merch, and, you can always check out the Your Playmats link and get yourself something cool and get 10% off. All that stuff in the doobly-doo. All right. So, if you guys remember also with the way we do deck profiles now, if you want to see this deck in action, you go to the end of the video where the replay footage will be. So, all that out of the way, let's go check out the deck profile. Alright guys, this is the updated dinosaur deck profile for finally. I had to give it a little bit of time to test with it, plus I've been working on other stuff on my TikTok, D&D, all that stuff. You can check that out if you want. Alright, so first things first, we got two double Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This is kind of a staple. This is always going to be in there. I think 2 is just kind of the go-to for this one. Until Konami makes a better boss monster, which I don't think will be ever, Tyranno. Alrighty, now we've got True King Lithosogem. We're playing 2 copies of this card. I know it just came back to 3, so for those of you who are going to ask, why aren't you playing 3? It's because it's cloggy. I don't feel like it's necessary to play 3 because we also have Terraforming and the Diagram, and between those 2 cards plus the Lithosogem, that's like 4 copies of Lithosogem. Why make it 5? I don't need that. I don't need that. That's good enough. 2 is good enough. It's consistent. It pops the babies. It's, and if we happen to pop 2 babies, then great. We're going to be sniping out problematic extra deck monsters. Fantastic. Love that. And then we're going to Doodle Beast Tyranno. You could definitely want this card. This card is basically a hand trap. It's like Pankratops-ish, but it's also kind of a hand trap. Because we can normal summon an Oviraptor, and then if somebody tries to Imperm or Valor it, we can just tribute it and voila. So fun plays there. Pankratops. I wish this card was in more than 1, but unfortunately Konami doesn't like me. So Doodle Beast Stego. This card is kind of our other Oviraptor. Basically the point of this card is to extend into link plays, as well as tribute fodder for Doodle Beast Tyranno. And we only need 1 of that entire engine. It's literally just 3 cards. the trap card that we use so we can search for the Tyranno, and the Stego and the Tyranno. Done. Giant Rex, staple card. You long time Dino players know we need at least 1 copy of this. Misk, another card I wish it was in more than 1, because Konami hates us. They just do. Oviraptor, the Stratos of the deck. Now, I know some dinosaur players are going to find this controversial. Don't stop playing the scrap engine. If you have the scrap engine, play the scrap engine. It's good. It still works. Especially because it's just free fodder for Lithosogem. And trust me, when you're up against a Cashier player, you want to snipe out some of the certain cards in that extra deck. Just FYI, you want to snipe that stuff if you can. And then, of course, like I said, literally a Scrap Raptor plus a Lost World equals full combo. So, go for it. Then we got the Ash Blossom, Necessary Evil. Still hate this card. Still want this card banned. But until this card is banned, we're going to play it because we're kind of forced to. Baby Cerosaurus, Baby Pedetreon. I go 2 and 2. Other players like to go 3 and 1. I'm going 2 and 2. Because look, there's only 1 card I want to get specifically off of Baby Cerosaurus, and the rest of it, all the other dinosaurs can got off of Pedetreon. So this is the only card we're after when we're killing Baby Cerosaurus. So yeah, that's why we're going 2 and 2, because and attacking doesn't matter because the extra deck's probably going to be used to supplement the attack. So we've got this card to search out the double evolution pills. 1 Arby's Feather Duster. I always main deck 1 because I know that back row players are everywhere. So yeah. Then we got Fossil Dig, Rhoda, Buffer, dinosaurs. Dark Hole. This is a combo piece. 3-card combo. Baby Ceratosaurus. And or normal monster plus Lost World plus Dark Hole equals full combo. You know. So, play it. Then we got Terraforming. This is to search out whichever field spell we need, whether it's Diagram or Lost World. In my experience, you just kind of get whatever you need. Oftentimes, and if you have Lost World already, and Lost World is all you need, fun fact, you get Terraforming, I'd still activate it anyway, because it can sometimes players will shotgun an Ash Blossom because they think you don't have Lost World or Diagram, so play your Terraformings. Then we got another hand trap, Infinite Impermanence. Another card I don't particularly care for. I would much rather play Effect Veiler, but with Bystials roaming around still, and probably for the foreseeable future, yeah, we're going to play Imperm because I don't want to give them extra fodder. Plus, we have enough non-dinosaurs in the graveyard, and the point of it is we want to put non-dinos will actually get to banish, so we try to avoid light and dark monsters as much as possible so we can avoid the Bystials. And the Doodle Book. Worst case scenario, you can use the negate attack effect, which actually has come up for me once or twice. I cannot believe that has happened, but it has. And for the most part, it's just send off a Stego so you can get to the Tyranno and have another way to pop stuff on your opponent's turn. Then we get to the extra deck, which is looking way different, because I know a lot of my longtime viewers are going to be looking at this and go, wow, Ben, this looks way different than how you used to play it. And I will explain that after we get through the deck profile. So we got Vespinato. If you are more inclined, you can go for Zeus, AA Zeus, if that is more your preference. I chose Vespinato because I like the ability the idea of to crash with like another monster that's 2,500 and get something back. Or, excuse me, making the opponent destroy this, whether by battle or card effect, so I can get Oviraptor and get another search. So I really like that concept. Also, it's an easy way to overlay into the monsters that don't have Xyz materials anymore and aren't serving a purpose. So yeah, with decent stats. 1 Logia, because it's Spell and Trap Negate. We have double Dulkas in here because so the big thing is now you're seeing 2 Dulkas in here, and the big reason why is because there is an increase in cards that are attacking the extra deck, mostly from Kashtira. So I am playing double Dulka to slow down their effectiveness, because I used to just play 1 Dulka. And Dulka is actually one of our more powerful effect negation cards. So they are going to snipe this card because it is a low resource, high value Xyz monster, and that is what this card is. It just takes 2 cards, 2 dinosaurs to make it, and then it's a double negate. It's not a hard once per turn, so it's, it's a low resource equivalent to Apollousa. And yeah, so they are going to try to snipe this card. So my idea was, okay, we're going to play 2 of it and make that harder. It's not the end-all be-all. Nothing is, but it does help. All right, then we also have Baguska. This has come up a few times, actually, too, to save my bacon, to stall, because sometimes all you can do is scrap Chimera, scrap Raptor, and go into Baguska and stall for time. I hate doing it, but sometimes that's all you can do. Also, fun fact, when your Baguska needs to go away, for whatever the reason you need it to go away, it's also an easy target for you to overlay it to Vespinato. So, and you get a stronger attack monster, so it all kind of works out in the end that way. Then we got Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. This card is like, it's kind of a last-ditch effort. You do it if you gotta do it. It can pop babies if your opponent still has more cards than you. So there is that. Just remember, it's like Dark Ruler no more. You cannot do damage after you do it, so just keep that in mind. Abyss Dweller, because there are still cards that are graveyard-oriented. Tier limits may not be as prominent, but that doesn't mean they're the only graveyard-based deck. So Abyss Dweller, for now, we could see this deck change over time, and you will. So maybe Abyss Dweller won't be in future builds, but as graveyard stuff kind of comes in and out, you want to keep this card in your collection. Dugaris the Timeless. This card is another really powerful card I like. It also facilitates OTKs. It can be draw power in the worst scenarios, as well as another easy target to go into with Vesperado, because this monster doesn't have any powerful stats. So what a lot of players used to do in the back in the day is they would use this card to like draw some cards, and then they would like use it as like fuel to make like Pentastag or something. I personally go into Vesperado. Vesperado also has piercing. That is relevant, especially when you have cards like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and you want to get the most amount of damage possible. So, yeah, and this card just makes an easy target to go to Vesperado, thus turning your, doubling the attack or drawing a card into something with some decent stats that you might be able to punch over something. Or at the very least, draw, you know what I mean? Like attack at 2,500, it dies, and then now you get another card. I've done it multiple times. Or attack into something and let Vesperado die into it. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you on that front. All right, now we got Apollousa the Bow of the Goddess. I got the reprint copy of this card, so I spent like $3 to get it. So, yay for budget players. And this card is really powerful. And this is one of the reasons why you want the Scrap Engine, because the Scrap Engine actually facilitates you playing Apollousa the Bow of the Goddess. So you have a multi-negation card, which is very important. You want as many negates as you can, especially because dinosaurs don't really have too much on that front that's easy to get to, because Konami won't make the cards that we need to actually make it easy. Like if Stego was level 4, I don't think that you would like Doodle Beast Stego was level 4. I don't think we would even bother with Apollousa the Bow of the Goddess, because why would we when we could make Dulka with half the effort? But until Konami, makes a Photon Thrasher, but for dinosaurs, that is the appropriate level. Yeah, we're going to do we'll do the long way around. So we got Apollousa the Bow of the Goddess, multiple negations. Nightmare Phoenix, back row hate, because we hate back row. Scrap Wyvern is a combo piece, as well as back row hate, front row hate, whatever you kind of need it to be. This card has gotten me out of many a jam. Pentastag facilitates OTKs. Nightmare Cerberus, worst case scenario, right? You have to put like, I don't know, like Doodle Beast, Stego, Lost World, and Scrap Chimera in your hand. Worst case scenario, right? So then you go, okay, cool. Stego, Scrap Chimera, make this card, assuming that you also at some point activate a Lost World and summon the token on their side, and now you have full combo. So that is why Cerberus is in here. He's another play starter card. Like I said, worst case scenario, you have to go that route. It is what it is. Then we got Secure Gardna and Linkario. This is the old school play with Amanador and Archosaur. Basically, you're using these with the double evolution pill, so you can get to your Big Daddy Tyranno here. As for the extra deck, or the sideboard, you can pick anything you want in here that you think is best for you. I'm just playing what I think is best for me. I'm still experimenting with that, obviously, but this is so far is what I'm going with. You can do whatever, make all the decisions you want. Now, I mentioned, what was it that I mentioned? All right, I remembered what I was supposed to tell you guys. So the longtime viewers know that I have been playing Super Poly and Super Poly targets in my extra deck for the longest time, in my dinosaur deck, and I'm going to explain the reason why I've kind of shifted that. Part of it is because now I have Apollousa, and I have cards I didn't have access to beforehand. And right now, Super Poly isn't as effective as it used to be. One, it was a budgetary out-based card. That was another reason why, is because I got copies for like stupid cheap. So when it was banned, so because I was using it in multiple decks just for transparency reasons. But the point that I'm getting at here is that I had Super Poly targets in here, but also in the dinosaur deck, all of those Super Poly targets are solely based off of what you as the opponent are playing versus me. So against something like Kashtira, which is going to be the big deck, it's not going to be quite as effective as it used to be. Whereas like something that has targets naturally, like say Shaddoll's or Heroes, just as like, more casual examples, but they could still use Super Poly and still use it effectively against multiple decks. I just decided that having this this budgetary non-respondable out, as much as I love that, I love the whole like, you can't respond to this. One, it hasn't seemed like it's too necessary for this build, and the other part of it is like, we still have a card like that if we need it. Like, we have Dark Ruler no more, which will serve the same purpose, as far as like turning the field off or getting rid of problematic cards so we can play. It's just right now we're going into like the major decks that I'm coming across are Kashtira and more back row heavy decks. So that was one of the things I was going to tell you guys for the long time viewers. This is why Super Poly is no longer in here. It doesn't mean Super Poly won't be in the future. Like, if we get to decks where Super Poly is going to be a more effective out, then yeah, I'm going to switch back. But I decided for this build, for this particular format, I valued natural destruction, and I added more natural outs. You know what I mean? As opposed to Super Poly, and because Darkness and Fusion are taking a bit of a backseat for this format, for at least for a little while, those cards are going to be out of this deck because they're not, and plus it's not wholly necessary. We're also, like I said, we got Lithosagen back to 3, so we're also being able to snipe cards before they hit the field and become a problem. So that's another reason why I don't feel the need to play Super Poly in this particular build. But if you are a budget Yu-Gi-Oh player, and maybe you got your Super Polys out of like a structure deck or something forever ago, and you want to keep using it, I don't see a problem with it. In fact, I could easily tell you what you can take out to do so. You would just simply take out like the Dark Holes and like I don't know, maybe you take out one of your like Lost Worlds. Done, problem solved. So that would just, if you want, and then of course, like for Super Poly targets, take out the Extra Doka, take out the Abyss Dweller and the Exciton Knight, or you could take out one of the like cards like Cerberus or something like that if you don't think it's all that necessary. You can get some ideas. And also, like I said, for other players who might prefer something like AA Zeus as opposed to Vespinato, I don't blame you. I'm just saying I prefer Vespinato over Zeus for my particular builds because, it's just for my experience, getting an Oviraptor back by crashing this into something or letting my opponent destroy it to try to get at me, and getting that Oviraptor and then getting that search seemed more beneficial to me than doing a simple field wipe, which Exciton Knight fills that same role, right, and still destroys, which could be comboed with like a baby dinosaur. Which is with AA Zeus, you can't do that. It's just kind of give and take on that front. So I just, I'm choosing a different route, just kind of that works best for me. If you're a dinosaur player, please do the route that chooses best for you. Now, with all that being said, guys, I hope you, the new guys, will like and subscribe. Just know I appreciate all of you. And if you guys want to stick around for the replay footage to see this deck in action, by the way, I did take down Kashtira. Dinosaurs do have a natural offense against it, so this might be the deck to consider. Anyway, guys, I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.